Yeah, another anti-bad response video. He's gonna keep just fucking the language. This just probably is no hope. He's just not gonna moderate the way he uses these words. So I only watched the first 3 minutes of his video, and so he's using it as an example of suffering. His parents rapping him on the head, punching their top of his head. You know what I mean? Rapping his head. That's suffering. It's just, this is, there's nowhere to go here. This is not my vision of suffering. And even if you want to use some quaint little example from your reality, this is it? This is your life experience with suffering? The least you could do if you're going to use some example from childhood would be to pick some example like you do something stupid and you see the look of embarrassment in your father's eyes. He's embarrassed that you're his son. And, you might spend the next 20 years. You might spend the next 40 years, 50. You might spend your entire lifetime never getting past that vision. Always having it slide into your memory now and then, just to point out what an asshole you are. And that you never could undo that disappointment, that reputation, that taste you put in his eyes, that taste of you put in his senses. And shit like that makes people alcoholics. Shit like that is suffering, because you can spend your whole life never getting over it. No, instead of using an example like that, use some trivial little, I skinned my knee when I was 4 years old and I got a really nasty scab. There, that's suffering. Like I say, 1 minute you talk as if you have some respect for this word, but you have no respect for it, no respect for the concept, because you only have one mission, and your mission is to justify all failures. No matter how big a rapist nature is, no matter how asshole it is, it could be the worst serial killer in the universe, and you're going to show up at the trial talking about, it didn't really mean it. It has a pet gerbil, and it likes its gerbil. Whining and bitching about how, don't kill it. It didn't mean it. It's deterministic universe. It didn't mean it. This is just bullshit. You're just making excuses, preposterous excuses, for some claim that, it all works out in the end. We're doing just fine. Everything's just fucking fine. It's okay if we run over a few innocents here. Who cares? It's not important. Their suffering is important. My going to the grocery store to get my bag of Cheetos so I can have a little magic conscious moment where I go yum, yum, yum is so fucking important that a few fucking victims, who cares? That's all you're saying, jackass. You can veil it with all your goddamn but. I'm not saying that. Yes, you fucking are. You liar. You're clearly saying that. And when you use a rap in the head as a child as an example of suffering, you're proving that's exactly what you're fucking doing. Damn. It's just such... why don't you ask, conference report about how big an inconvenience it's been in his life, that he got into a dumb fight, as a youth, and got his fucking front teeth knocked out. Well, his front tooth. Why don't you ask him, whether there was some silver lining to that, what the silver lining is. There's no fucking silver lining. You talk about this macho shit. I grew up in a nice violent family, and we're nice violent Irish fuckers. What if you're the loser on that shit? What if one of those violence occasions ended you up paralyzed, you fuck? Would you be telling the same stupid ass fucking story if you got a goddamn colostomy bag you're shitting into as you barely wheel yourself down the fucking road? This is just such a crock of shit. This is a disgusting conversation. Absolutely disgusting. You want to say it all balances out, then show the real victims. Show real victims of real fucking horror. Okay? Slow, horrible death. Get some images of infectious diseases in Africa and show people slowly getting eaten alive. All right? Show a 21-year-old woman who looks like she's 95 and tell everybody how it's all okay because, the Mets might win the World Series this year. Anticontivad's going to have a magical moment when he, watches the Three Stooges. Fuck you. Deal with something real or shut the fuck up. This is just pussy bullshit. Suffering is a rap in the head. Oh, fuck you. Oh, man. I mean, jeez. And if that's your standard for violence, even. I grew up in a violent or rough, we were rough people. You're not even close, buddy. I mean, shit. Not even close. Anyway. So I'll now have to watch the rest of the video. Of course, it's probably got some sort of bullshit. Because that's all they are, is bullshit videos. Let's just contradict. Let's placate every argument. But we'll certainly see the arrow where the arrow is decidedly pointed. And the arrow is decidedly pointed at, let's minimize the negatives and preposterously exaggerate the magical, mystical nature of the meaning. We're full of meaningness. Ooh. Yeah. So let's exaggerate the meaning of eating your fucking dinner and minimize the horrors endured and pretend it's all just a good old game. Fuck, and call that philosophy. Call that enlightenment. Sorry. Doesn't sound too fucking smart to me. Doesn't sound too... it doesn't fit with my fucking model of the universe at all. All these critters making noise here in this woods, eking out a fucking existence, and that's all they're doing. It's eking. That's the noise they're really making. They're just going eek, 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 eek. Before something snaps them up and turns them into a meal. Chomp, chomp. I just don't get it. I don't get how you could possibly live a life and have such a gross perspective distortion disease. I mean, suffering is a rap in the head. Hilarious. So, yeah, sorry. Yeah, wow. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you can justify a zillion little stub toes. Just keep calling suffering a stub toe. You can't think any better than that. And again, it still depends on the silly counter argument, which is even more silly, is the exaggeration of the human experience, the preposterous exaggeration of the meaningfulness of a scratched itch. And that's all you're doing. You're just itching scratches, and you're calling it the singularity. Oh, I saw singularity when I was itching my scratch and wanking my wanker. Shit, this is beneath conversation. This isn't even Cracker Jack box philosophy. This is something so psychological, so obviously psychological. Let's just glorify our psychology. Shit. Anyway, really, you gotta read some Dawkins. You gotta read some. Yeah, just read Darwin. It's a little dry, but it surely does make the statement. It's just a bunch of, just a bunch of little machines thrown into the arena to chew each other to pieces. to say I win for a day. Yeah, well, there's no meaning in that. No function. Just waste. Horrific, stupid waste. Anyway. Fuck. Anyway, I'll just say anyway a few more times. Anyway, it's damn humid still. Yeah, really, the temperature's not outrageous, but the air is just so wet. Doesn't breaks the whole cooling system right the fuck down. So anyway, I gotta quit doing that. Alright, I'll quit doing that. Instead, I'll say, quit doing that. I'll say leaf. And that'll be my transition word. And now for something completely leafy. No, that's not a very good segue. Segue will be fuck you, cunt. Till next time. Have a nice day. If you deserve one. If you're evil scum, then don't have one. Fucker. Such. I hit the button, but it didn't work.